All right. Good evening and welcome to another Project Healing Waters fly fishing special where each and every week, except for next week, be tying flies here live until we get back into the St. Cloud VA Medical Center face to face. But I don't know, seems like every time we take one step forward, we take a half a step back. Um, so just following the suggested precautions and such, etc., etc. But we've all been in crazy circumstances, but that's all. All roads lead here. That's what I say. All roads lead to the water, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, usually if you walk downhill long enough, you'll find the water. That's a good thing to think about if you ever get lost. And usually, if you find water, then you find people. Eventually, people like water. At least I think so. So we are here July 7th, and I am headed to Montana on Sunday, and then I won't get back until that following Monday, I believe. So no live stream next week on the 14th, at least in this capacity. Um, I might do a Riverside live stream if I can convince my brother into playing cameraman for me. I think he should be able to do that, and maybe we'll get some a live stream me fishing, catching a trout maybe, or making a fool of myself. Who knows? Depends on what the signal reception out there is going to be as well. Also, tonight we're going to be doing a half episode. We'll be calling it quits just a tick before 7 o'clock. So the time is ticking away. It's going. We're only doing a half an episode, which is still an hour. We're still going to tie for about an hour. I have committed to giving a gentleman, Korea War veteran, a ride to and from the hospice facility where he's visiting his wife. Um, and just got into a car accident yesterday, so he needs a ride. And me being the good neighbor that I am, I said, you know what, I got you covered. Didn't really dawn on me until earlier today when I was like, you know what, that's halfway through my live stream, or a little bit halfway through. So right at about 7 o'clock, we'll call our quits real quick, and I need to hit the ROAD, hit the road, and go give a ride to someone. So that's what we're doing. I'm not exactly. It could have been maybe Smart Mouth, could have been one of those other wise guys, but I got myself a little note here, and it says shrimp, 1 ounce jig, not 1 ounce, but 1 aught. So we're going to be tying some what I'm calling a rusty shrimp. And like I said, like I always say, this is one of many ways to tie a fly. Um, by no means is this the one and only shrimp pattern you should do. I encourage you to explore. Let your imagination be your only limitation as you journey down the road to the river or to the water, tying flies. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do the hokey pokey. We'll head over that way and tie some of these up. Pretty simple. It's a. I meant to turn on the light and I hit the mute button on my microphone. Awkward. All right, I need to put my coffee down. It's a drinking coffee kind of night. All right. So like I said, we're tying these on some 1 aughts. Big O shrimp, I suppose. Scale this up or down to whatever your heart contends. These are some old mustads. 32756. 32756. These are Aberdeen bends. And I believe that refers to the bend of the hook. Is the Aberdeen style. Make sure we got enough camera for that. I like jig hooks sometimes. And I don't know. So let's go ahead and find our thread. I am going to be using a white thread because we're going to color it at the very end. We'll start our thread right up front. 210 denier flat wax thread. We need some beef on this. It's if you're tying a 1/0 hook, you might as well use some of the bigger threads. Yeah. Let's go ahead and park our thread right up front. Maybe we'll leave just a little bit. Because we're going to add some dumbbell lead eyes. We need to get some weight on this because where do shrimp like to hang out? They like to hang out near the bottoms. We'll be using a painted lead eye size medium red, color red. And what does medium translate to? How much weight is that? I got the weight written out on these ones. So the medium, where'd my dumbbells? Size 4. Yeah, size 4 mediums. Oh, there's a different container. Size 4 mediums. That's 1/30th of an ounce. I've got some chartreuse and reds and unpainted ones. But these are pretty big. You're not gonna want to fling these around with your 5 weight. Then again, it's a big old 1/0 hook. So set it on top, nice and easy. We'll do a few wraps this way. We'll turn. We'll do a few wraps that way. Don't ever stress too much about the orientation of your dumbbell eyes when you first start. You can adjust. Once you get a few wraps of this away and a few wraps of that away, and that's this away, and then turn and go that away. And if you keep those even, it keeps the dumbbell eyes kind of even Steven. We'll do a few wraps in front, a few wraps behind, and I like to do a few chokes all the way around. That leaves us fairly sturdy, and I like to add a little dab of liquid insurance policy. It's not much. It's not a Zap-A-Gap or anything super sticky, but it is a little bit of the secret sauce. Some good old Sally Hansen's. It's sad because my usual go-to place for my Sally Hansen's no longer exists. And I think that might be a common thing amongst a lot of the fly tying supply places, especially the stuff that you just normally wouldn't expect to get into. So we'll do a few wraps and just kind of work into that head cement. Doesn't take much, and that's all going to cure and get all hard. And you know where that's going? Nowhere, that's where. Work our thread to the rear. We're going to add some rubber legs, some little silly legs. And what's interesting about these is the barred, the pattern section doesn't quite go all the way to the end, and it's only on one side. It's just something to take note. What are you going to do with that note? Well, that's up to you, I suppose. But the more you know. Alright, we're going to go ahead and multiply by dividing. Take our one strand and bada boom. We got 2 now. I'm going to tie these on either side of the bend. And I'm opting to do my little patterned edge out. And I'm going to do about a hook's length. Give it a couple soft wraps and keep it on the near side of the hook. That's what we're after, is keeping it on the near side. We can tie into there, that's okay. Work our way up about, I don't know, halfway. And then can just trim off that excess. I'll find that other one that I conveniently set down and lost. There we go. We'll match that for length. We can start right there and just carefully hold it as we wrap back. But ultimately, in the end, we're looking to have these both on either side of the hook. Well, they kind of got together, but that's alright. Things I'm not going to lose any sleep about, because this is a big old scrimp. A little rusty brown shrimp. I think, some shrimp is bright pink, but not all shrimp is bright pink. I think shrimp, pink flamingos, you think, like red lobster shrimp and this and that. Well, it's kind of like translucent, or it's muddy or something. Alright, so I'm going to tie this in. Oh yeah, what is this? I should probably say. This, what we're tying in, is a leech yarn. This is a rust-colored leech yarn. You could do a dubbing, you could, whatever your imagination comes up with for a body. Go ahead and try it. But I'm going to tie this in about midway and work my way back to the rear of the hook, to the bend. And I'm okay with that because actually I want this rear half, which is actually the front half of the shrimp, to build up in bulk just a little bit. Not too much. And because I'm a cheapskate, I don't like having little bits of waste, so I've learned to just deal with it, and I keep all my material on the cards if it comes on a card. Alright, so I want to do one wrap underneath those little rubber legs, which are our little feelers. And the thing with the leech yarn is, as we work it through our hands, we tend to pull it up, but we want to make sure we pull it out. Pull those little fibers kind of perpendicular to the strand. And we're going to go back and forth a little bit here at the rear. Like I said, I want to build up the size of this body just a little bit without going too bananas. The thing we also want to make sure we really keep into consideration is how tight we wrap this around the shank. So I'm right there at about that halfway point. I'm going to kind of pick it out a little bit. And I'm actually going to wrap back a little bit, about half that distance. And nice and tight, we'll just kind of work our way forward again. Touching wraps. Really kind of keep that material from getting matted down too much. And yeah, I think I end up using a lot more, like this takes more wraps than what I would initially think. But if you get it at the right price, 50 cents, who cares, right? Because you can really build it up nice and tight. We want our shrimp to look appetizing. Let's see here, I'm kind of feeling it, kind of taper down just a little bit. Maybe we'll work our way back a little bit, and then our way forward again a little bit. Give that shrimp a little profile. Alright, I'm up here towards the dumbbell eyes. I'm actually going to rooster up the hook. I'm going to park my thread in front of the dumbbell. I'm going to do a figure 8. I'm going to go over the eyes straight under, and a cross going back, and then to kind of seal that all off, I'll just take a wrap there at the rear, and then once more right up front. Perfect opportunity to lock that off, and by having that angled up, I can feel a little bit more confident that my thread isn't just gonna fall off and fall. Use your words, Ron. Fall off the front of the hook. All right, that's tied in. Looking good, looking good. Nice wraps. All right, if you got them, get your fancy Velcro stick out. Just any old piece of Velcro. We're gonna tease all this out. We're pulling that straight up. I guess we can come down just a little bit. All right. Time for a haircut. We're going to start low and go high at an angle, about like so. That gives us a nice clean edge. We get to kind of pick out again. All right, I think that's pretty good. We'll go ahead and do the hokey pokey. If you got your rotary vise, that's when you rotisserie it over to this side. I think that's pretty good. Oh, we got to angle down a little bit. Looking kind of shrimpy, huh? I think so. All right. So one of the things I'm just going to add into this, and you guys can let me know. I tied a couple of these earlier, and I didn't do this, but I thought it's kind of a wacky enough idea. And yeah, what do we got? 3 of us watching? There might be 30 of us that watch this in total after this is all said and done with. I've got a single brown rubber hackle, just a little brown rubber leg. We're going to tie that in. Because y'all know what that is, right? If you've ever had a shrimp or seen a shrimp, they have this thing that in the restaurant industry they call it a vein, I believe. I don't eat seafood, so you guys will have to let me know. It's going to kind of disappear within our brown. You could use a, I'm using a from the Fly Tyers Dungeon. This is a brown Congo hair. You could use a craft fur. You could use virtually any kind of hair that's going to give you the length. Wig hair, clown hair, but I'm using Congo hair. Multiply by dividing. And I'm going to fold that over once more. And that'll give me a nice little top shell there. I'm going to set that right on top. And I'll leave that little puff, little kind of tail section forward. And that's it. We'll just do a whip finish right there. And this is kind of my rusty shrimp. You know what I was doing? Because of those red eyes, I was thinking maybe I could just come in with this brown. Burnt sienna. I like some burnt sienna. This is a little bit more convenient than me looking for my brown thread. But the white 210 denier, that Danville's, it sure takes on a coat of paint, a little coat of marker really well. And I'm going to come in with a little dab of bone dry on my bodkin. I don't want to get too crazy with it. We'll just work it into the thread. Alright, we'll give that a quick zap. We'll set it and forget it. And that's going to be our little happy-go-lucky shrimp. I suppose you could go with an unpainted dumbbell eye. You know, with this size hook, my options were red or chartreuse. I do have a couple unpainted eyes, but I'll let that be. Gonna help that through, and there's our little scrimp. Let's get this. So there you have it. That's my little rusty shrimp. Let me know what you think. I think that'll work out just fantastic. And I suppose I could probably just use another. So here it is hanging off of another hook. So just to kind of see where its weight balance. It's not quite level, but dragging on the water, once you get it down to the bottom, she should track pretty well. I don't know about that little piece of rubber up there or not. Alright, let's do another one. I'm going to do something a little bit slightly different. A weed guard would be a good addition, but they're a pain in the butt to add, yeah. Well, you know what we could do is a kind of a easy weed guard. Yeah, I don't want to horse with that tonight. I've never been a big fan of the weed guards. They are so inconvenient to get on. But actually, you know, I wonder if you could do something like you know, jam a little tube. I mean, if a fish hits that, it's got to come undone, but how long does that last? Holy smokes. That's sharp. Alright, let's tie another one. Actually, you know what? I am going to switch threads. Quick change on the bobbin. No, because this was actually a little bit more easier to find. We're going to use a 6/0 Fly Masters waxed. Oh, that waxed thread is so nice. Let me know in the chat. What do you use? Do you use a waxed? Do you like waxed thread? Let me know. A little bit of wax goes a long way. Wax on, wax off. Mr. Miyagi knows what's up. Alright, we'll start with our thread up front. This is a 1/0. I should probably show the box again because sometimes people join in a little bit after we start. These are must-add 32 756s. 32756 1/0, and there's no longer 100 in there. Oh man, good hooks here. Made in Norway. And you know what? Those Norwegians, they know a thing about hooks. They know a thing or two about hooks. I'll lay a little thread base. And we'll get our dumbbell eyes. These are medium. What did I say? They were 1/30th of an ounce. So I guess you take 30 of these guys. Alright, so mono for a weed guard. Alright, cool. So my dad never uses waxed thread. Well, never say never, mister. We'll get you on it someday. I need to go just a little bit further back. I need just enough room to tie in everything up front. Don't crowd the eye. As long as it's not rope. The old rope-a-dope. Now, I think at one point, I don't know if it might be on a live stream. Maybe we could tie a fly using up to and including the thread itself. Kind of maybe a survival pattern. And, you know, make it out of parachute cord. I've tied some streamers and such using parachute cord. Use the casing as a body. Work our thread back here to the rear. This time, I didn't do this last time because I'm always kind of reinventing and relearning and remembering things as I go. But before I tie in my rubber legs, which will be our little feelers, I'm going to build up a little bit of a ball. And this will help kind of keep those eyes separated, hopefully. See a little bump. Suppose I could pan up just a little bit. Camera 1, pan up, please. Thank you. Alright, let's go. And I guess this would not be a saltwater pattern, now that you mention it, as it's not on a stainless steel hook. You would definitely want to, I don't know how fast, I'll ask my Pa, how fast do non-saltwater hooks, how fast do they turn after they've seen saltwater? But they don't last that long. That'd be my guess. If I were a guessing guy, and I like to guess. Take our little rubber leg. Multiply, divide. I'm going to stick these on so the barred action is towards the rear. And to make it easy on myself. I'm going to tie these in one at a time. Tie this on the near side. I'm going to go about halfway. Then we can just match that. Match it, match it. Keep a little tension on it. We'll just make sure we park that on the far side of the hook. Break or cut those off. I like that. Alright, we're going to tie in our body material, which once again I'm using a rust colored leech yarn. Here we go. Bam! 50 cents. So, Sportsman's Warehouse Special. How about that? So yeah, there you go. Saltwater. If it's not the right type of hook, use it once, and if you don't take care of it immediately enough, it starts to rust. Oh boy, oh boy. Maybe we'll do something on a saltwater hook when we get back here in a couple of weeks. Let's take our, that's what happens when you set it down in some trash. Work some of this off the card. And we can work our way all the way to the rear, right to those legs. And we can park our thread up front. Not going to necessarily go in front of the dumbbell eyes yet. I'll do one wrap. Get one wrap underneath. There we go. Alright, go ahead and pick that out. Get the material pulled to the rear, out of our fingers. Alright. Let's go ahead and work our way forward to about that halfway point. I'm going to double back a little bit. Just building up that body a little bit. Nice and tight. Slack is evil. Don't give him no slack, Jack. Keep that material available. Oh, there goes the flashlight, the UV light, the torch. We'll take this forward and then we'll go back a little bit. Again, I'm just building up this body just a little bit. That's going to pick out just fine. Alright, so we're back up front. We're going to angle our hook a little bit. Pan up camera one. And park my thread in front of the dumbbell eyes now. We'll go up and over, under, we'll crisscross once. We'll do one more wrap, then we'll go underneath, and we'll take our wrap up front. That will be fantastic. trim off the excess. Yay! Alright, Velcro brush. Here we go. Level that out real quick. That way we get a nice view of our angle. Start low, go high, about like that-ish. Excellent. Flip it over, and we'll prepare for the wing, or the back, the shell. Again, I'm using some Congo hair tonight. Take a little bit. Doesn't take much, because we're gonna flip it over a couple of times. There's once. Even up the ends. And we'll do that once more to make 4. So I have 4 times the amount than when I started, which gives me a little bit longer than a hook. Let's leave a little bit facing forward, enough to tie into. Uh-oh, that broke our thread. We'll have to retie that on and really make sure we get that nice and secured. Oh boy. This is live streaming, folks. Guess what? If it happens to you, it's probably already happened to me. And that's alright. I'm going to pull this off because that didn't get secured. Start our thread again. Alright guys, take 2. We'll take our little Congo hair clump. Leave a little bit facing forward. And that's going to be it. I think the little rubber hackle vein in there is just a little bit too much. So we omitted that. We're going to stick with this. And that broke off. I think I'm going to have to get rid of this thread. It's got some weak points. It looks like that broke. Dang, sure enough. This isn't giving me much confidence. Yeah, we got some weak spots in this thread. Thread, it does go bad. Nothing ever lasts forever, right? So we'll be gentle. We'll be a gentle giant. 1, 2, 3. Nice and easy. We'll do that one more just to make sure. My confidence level in this thread just went down a few notches. And you gotta have confidence with your material. And once that hits the water, that's all gonna slick down. And we're gonna have ourselves a nice little scrimp. Alright, instead of bone dry, I want this to penetrate. So we're going to get this real secret sauce, the real insurance policy, the Sally Hansen's, the hard as nails, nails, nails. Get a drop on there. that's going to be good enough. That'll settle and set. We can set it and forget it. Alright, let's go ahead and so there you have it, ladies and gents. That's my rusty scrimp. Where did my hook grabber guy go? There it is. So that's the shrimp on a 1/0. I think that should swim pretty good. Little rusty brown scrimp. With some little happy dangly little antennae feelers. So we're going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick night tonight. I've got to run. We've got to go give somebody a ride. So I hope you guys understand. I'm sure you all will. I need to go to this one. Let's leave one in the camera. Oh. I like doing this just at the end. Anyways, well, it was a quick night. It was a real night. It was a real quick night. But it doesn't take anything away from my appreciation for all of you tuning in here tonight, or whenever this may be. So sorry it's so short. We're going to miss next week for the official live stream. That will be my second live stream that we've missed since this whole pandemic started. Anywho, so hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way, if and when I do a live stream, just kind of randomly pop up, you'll be able to get the notification. So, all right, gang. Thank you all for tuning in. Please be good. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Please stay safe. Happy tying. Tight lines. Peace.